Hello, welcome to Mystic Moons. Glad you can join today's psychic exploration, psychic investigation. We're just trying to figure out which is up, which direction is up, and which direction is down. So many things have been happening in our world. Our planet is in chaos. You could say by design, by intention. Either way, does make it change. Somehow we have to figure out what is happening and what is not happening and find a solution and quick. So today we are going to explore what is the message the universe is trying to tell us. Because apparently we can't trust one another. We're living in an era of zero trust. We all know that. We have to verify who we are, what we are, around the clock. You can't do this. And then we have to be physically checked if we're on any type of transportation. It's really theater. It's theater. Always be prepared. Always be afraid. Well, this is 2026. And we have to figure out just what is being thrown our way. So sit back, relax, and I'm happy that you joined today. And think about yourself, where you are, where you want to be, where you want your friends and your family to be, where you want your community to be. Take a stand. I believe in this or I believe in that. And then think of what is done in our name, our American name. So far we've had war, and wars. In most of our history of the United States, we've had 97% percentage of warfare. Only a few years have we not had any type of destruction, organized murder, defending what? Defending whom? Who benefits? These are all the questions that history has eluded from our present day dialogue. However, now, since we already are embracing our inevitability, joining forces with the entirety of the planet, not just Earth. And what are we humans here for, right? Are we here for destruction? Are we the zoo land of the cosmic order? What are we? And who is following whom? Who is doing what? For what reasons? These are all the questions. So sit back and relax, and we're going to explore this particular event that is going to happen. President Trump has announced he's going to be put troops on the ground. Troops on the ground. And we've been through this before. In fact, we elected him to not do this, to pay attention to USA, Chicago, Philadelphia, LA, New York, Boston, etc., Atlanta, and Main Street, USA. Of course, our roads, our bridges. Of course, they've got none of that. None of that so far in the year and few months that he has been in office. And during this time, the year and a few months he's been in office, we've had, I think, 4 wars. We've gone to war with Yemen, Somalia, Nigeria, and Venezuela. And the 5th one, this one. The Iran war, which we've been told day after day, it's a win. Now somehow we're going to conquer 100 million people in a few weeks by cutting off the head. We tried that already. We tried lots of murder, sacrifice, the children, this girls' schools, the girl students. Now they were so, that's a travesty. They were like, what were they? Little children. So far, we've killed about almost 2,000 Iraqis, not Iraqis, slip of the tongue. Perhaps we've killed more than that Iraqis in the past, but presently 2,000 Iranians. And we've injured about 25,000 men, women, and children. We've injured them. Not good statistics. Not good reasoning. And what is the reason for this? Because they are not under our thumb. Not under our thumb. They don't jump when we say jump. They don't give the right answer. We want to say, how high? They should ask how high if they were to question anything. However, put that aside for a second, for a moment. And let's get back to this original message we're trying to seek an answer to. We're trying to find out, what is this next step? Ground troops. Is it trust the plan? Trust the plan. Now, we've heard many stories. It's been like a seesaw, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then we're going into partnership with a country that does not care about a lot of things that Americans should care about, Israel, of which they've done what they've done to decimate the population of the Palestinians in Gaza. And that's another topic. But right now, we've seen their work. Lebanon, we've seen their greater Israel motivation. We've seen us being the tools for another regime's goals or dreams, wet dreams, whatever they call. Horror. Killing is horror. Murder is horror. What do you gain? What do Americans gain from this Iran war? We have all the oil we need. We're the biggest producer on the planet to date. Plus, we just pirated a whole bunch of Venezuelan goodies. So why are we trying to butcher, mutilate, kill, suppress, destroy, all those words? 100 million Iranians on their land. Now we're traveling 10,000 miles away, right? We're in a different time zone than they are. Right now, it's the wee hours of Saturday morning. Whereas over there, it is already in the afternoon. They're banging away, bombing away, doing what they have to do on either side. Now, if somebody's attacking your house, you know how you're going to respond. You're not going to be saying, oh, I surrender, beat me up. Same thing everywhere. There's something that is extremely human, right? Now, especially human to people who read, think, and care. And we've been hearing a lot of gossip lately about what's been going on in the Trump administration. Besides getting the swing, the seesaw, yes, no, maybe, I'm going to do this, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, blah, blah, it's like that, without going into specifics. But the specifics are very telling. They're begging for a deal, they're begging, it's wonderful, it's the greatest. We've heard a few bit of gossip about what goes on in President Trump's situation room, his war room. But he watches a lot of things go bing, bang, bing, bang. In fact, he has interviews of which he says, oh, that was great, bing, 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 simulating verbally explosions, things imploding, exploding, being destroyed, warships, people, buildings, things like that. He likes that. And that's like porn, war porn. Now, they also have snuff movies too, of which there was once a job I went for, of which they wanted someone, an artist, to draw out the moments, because, people that commit suicide in prison, they have a habit of categorizing them as digitally, drawing-wise, quick sketch. They do that. Snuff movies. But I did get the job because they thought that it would be too much for me to handle seeing one person after another commit suicide. Thank goodness I didn't have to do that. But anyway, off topic. back to, we have a president who watches things being blown up several times a day. And he sits in his $50,000 suit with a $5 made in China, made in America, doesn't matter, blue collar, red hat, make America great again, trust the plan type of thing. And he's just, you know from yourself, when you watch one video after another video, how your brain reacts. Whereas when you read something, as opposed to listening something, you involve more of your human senses. It makes you smarter or more articulate, more aware. But we have someone here who is surrounded by strange staff of people. Pete Hegseth, whose own mother said, she's embarrassed about him. You're a bad boy, Petey. You're a bad boy. You have no respect for women. There's online, you can find it. Now, and also Rubio. What is his goal? There was a nickname for Rubio. We used to call him Bubbles. Now, how long does a bubble last? Okay, gossip aside, the real issue is, will these troops on the ground, will it lead to victory? Lead to victory? Or will it just be new war porn videos for our illustrious president? Our president, who many are wondering, why? What's in it for us? What's in it for him? Of course, he's already seeing, we've heard that naming the Straits of Hormuz, the Straits of Trump. Tiresome, isn't it? Tiresome that one's ego can just be oblivious to the sweat, the tears, the blood of others. Of course, according to Mr. Trump, if you don't have $1 million, several $1 million in the bank, you don't exist. You are person non grata, whatever that phrase is. You don't exist. You're like a flea. You are a worm, a maggot. Now, so let's ask the ether, the cosmic ether, the spirit of earth. Because what we're doing, we're affecting so much pain, so much sacrifice. And it's not just one, like, do you feel good if you push someone who's weaker than you, or you just push someone and you make them trip and fall? Does that make you feel good? You go, I have the right of way on this sidewalk or this road. You walk away, you lose something when you're mean. You lose something. And gradually, more and more, the losses add up until you become a caricature of a human being. That's the bad side about having things your way all the time, that you lose your morality. And that's one thing that this country has got to think about, bring back. Don't worry about the gas prices. Worry about the blood of others. Worry about your neighbor's blood, the pain, and the blood that they are flowing on others, for the lack of a better word. Well, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. And if you want to chime in, want to make a comment, please do. This is open. This is trying to get the psychic abilities to wake up. And I want everyone who's listening to this to think about where we're going as a nation. And don't look for somebody else for the answers. Look in the mirror first. There is your answer. And think about what you can do to make this country better. That is ultimately our objective, is to make this world a better place, because we, you and I, and everyone else, are in it not to exploit, not to trash, not to think the world serves me. No. What can we do? We've had presidents in the past that said, ask not, but see what you can do. Paraphrasing a bit, but you understand what I mean. Now, it seems to me that we're up against, we're the invaders. We're the invaders with Israel, the IDF rather, the IDF. And we are seeking to displace, destroy another's homeland. So what do you think that they are going to do when they find these foreigners, these invaders, these soldiers of fortune on a mission to destroy their way of life further? We've already destroyed quite a bit. We've killed, maimed, and we've destroyed. Now, don't think these people are just going to be like in the Bible, give me the other cheek and you can pound away on it. Oh no. Vengeance is strong. And of course, he who lives by the sword, dies by the sword. That is not exactly a phony baloney statement. Remember the old days, the leader would go into battle and charge with his men. Of course, they've had that, the old days, the old days. Today, it's not so. So let's do a draw, a pull, and see. Where does this plan? No. Oh, I do this. I get your input. Now, I know people are asking this question. I mean, you think about how we are living right now. Well, we're thinking about the prices of this, the prices of that, and we're full of, we don't have enough money, we don't have this, we don't have that. And will the war remain over there? That's a thing. And of course, once we have more blood, USA blood, then becomes more of an attention, because you know someone that knows someone who was actively injured, actively killed in this war. Boots on the ground, ground forces. And one thing about too, we have this total censorship going on. A lot of censorship. Like even the account of how many people were injured is not something that can be discussed. It's a secret. They round off some figure like 300 injured, a dozen or so permanently killed, if you can say that. I don't mean permanently injured, I mean permanently injured. But still we have this quiet, this hush-hush. And we don't like to discuss anything. But how are we to know? We're supposed to give our friends, our neighbors, our sons, our daughters, without knowing the particulars, just with trust. Trust whom and why and how, and what is the state of mind involved? What is the state of mind involved that is going to send our soldiers into harm's way? Now, war is not World War II or World War I. Big ship, planes, and the hordes would come and tackle each other like the old-time crusaders. No. Wars today are done with machines, drones, lasers, and other things, beams, frequency waves. So landing the troops on a few little 1,000, 10,000, 15,000 troops on a land of 100 million, that's like putting a little chili, a little spice on the main dish. It's already seasoned and ready to just to your taste. Or is it some kind of ritual going on here. A ritual, a blood ritual, destruction. Of course, a lot of people like to do that type of stuff. They're mercenaries, they're paid for it. They love that excitement. There's movies about it, things like that. But this is different. This is real life. This is real life. This is something that is happening in a few days. It's happening and will happen. And what are we going to do about it? That's the thing, no matter how much censorship, we're asking the collective energy of this planet, of the people that live on this planet, to decide what kind of world, to feel what kind of world that's being offered to them or they're willing to accept. All these questions, which is trust. I am willing to live with this. Why? 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 There are people that are actively seeking total end times, apocalypse. They want destruction to bring upon an awakening. At the same time, we have other people that are waiting for answers from our president about extraterrestrial life. That we are not alone in the universe. The same person who watches things blow up. The same person who has a lot of communication problems. And the same person who has, again, those markings, those bruises, those strange bruises on his hand, on his right hand, and on his neck. Very strange. It's lots of strange things. And then there's no word about that. Why does someone have bruises? Why? Now, we all have seen movies of which we know that people can be targeted. They don't do something, they don't get something. And it's intravenously put into the body. We know all this. We all know this. And we wonder. But nevertheless, are we being forced to pay attention to the Middle East because it's our victory, because it's our destiny, or because it's a ritual for a new clip? War, people being destroyed. They call that war porn. And that's seeing things as they really are. Yes, it's true. Seeing things as they really are takes courage. And it's hard to be strong. It's easier just to go, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. But no matter how much we can't deal with it, it still is there. Like, how am I going to get out of this mess? That's what I'm sure the leaders of this country are worried about now, more than the lives that are being taken on either side. How am I going to get out of this? We have a worldwide crisis. Worldwide. Not just us. Not just us. Not just the offensive parties, nor the defensive parties. We have something that is catapulting, unfolding, exploding, imploding. A kinetic situation with the potential to have some very, very dire depopulation results. Now I'm looking to see which ones speak, which ones are giving me. These are vintage cards, very old. Very, very old. Let me take this one. Now we're seeing if we can be led to some rationality, to some reason that this is a good move or this is a bad move. Is it good that we put troops on the ground? And what does it do for us? What does it gain for us other than mangled bodies, harmed minds? cries, terror, fear. Can we get beyond that in this particular time, the time of chaos? Can we just put chaos aside? Can we just look at what we have and go, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I have this person, this family, these friends, these neighbors, or I have nothing, but I have my strength. I have my strength, and that sustains me. Why must we go beyond that? Why must we go beyond that? And this is what this reading is asking. Why must we accept troops on the ground? The plan. Is it good for us? Is it a developing thing for our nation, our youth, our babies, our old people, our friends, to experience this? Are we being led in the right direction? Well, I'll take these 4 right here, and we'll see. Let's start getting an investigation about this. First card we pulled is the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. Already we can see that this is a weight. A weight. This is something we don't want to deal with. This is something we go, I'm not in the military. I'm not living over there. It has nothing to do with me. I don't want to pay attention. Or this is also a weight around our neck, a yoke. Is this all that we are good for? The 8 of Swords. Bad. This is not particularly. This is a very somber. Ready to kill, the kill force. Protecting? Protecting what? Protecting whom? Protecting why? There's a lot of questions, a lot of adverbs. A lot of adverbs. And mystical experiences, connotations. We can't ever, as humans, disregard the other ether elements, the unseen, the 5th dimension. Where is this going to take us? Where? Are we going to be happy? Are we going to be pleased? Is this going to bring us victory over an enemy who has not attacked? Persia has not attacked anyone in almost 2,000 years. And as I said, everyone knows the United States has been around for 250 years almost. And most of that time, we've been attacking and at war. 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. 2 Earth signs. 2 Earth signs. Could be Israel and the United States. 2 of Pentacles. It could also be to attack us in a partnership with the IDF against Iran. 2 of Pentacles, 2 Earth forces, 2 Earth sides clashing. A unity. 2 of Pentacles is a unity. I would take this as the IDF and the USA. I would take those 2 forces together in partnership. So far we have the 8 of Swords, of which we're insulating ourselves against opposite opinions. We're insulating ourselves, making ourselves 2 peas in a pot, the IDF and the USA. And the 8 of Swords. We're sharing the burden of victory or failure. Of course, once it is over, then that's be another distribution. The Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. It's almost as though this Nine of Pentacles is the behind the scenes person, not the people we see in front of our faces. Our president, the president of Israel, no, the prime minister, the PM, Netanyahu, the visible people that we see. This is the person behind the scenes, promising and awaiting to see what happens. See what happens. Trust the plan. This is one of the planners or the watchers of what we will get. Next one we got. Let's see what this brings. The Seven of Wands. Look at that. The fight. The fight. We already get. Now we have, first of all, we have the burden of warfare. Warfare isn't fun. It's not playing. Life and death is not a sport. It can be viewed as a sport if you're just directing it and watching the boom booms and the bang bangs and saying boom boom bang bang. If it's not anyone that you personally know or care about, and if you have an attitude like Kissinger has, our late statesman, who said infamously, the military are dumb, stupid animals to be used as pawns in foreign policy. I feel soiled even saying those words, repeating them. And it's his phrase, pretty much verbatim. Actually verbatim. Look it up. Look it up. Then we have the partnership, Israel and USA. And then we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles awaiting the rewards. The hand, the force behind the two visible people, Trump and Netanyahu, the force behind it, who's waiting to galvanize the screams, the resources, the minerals, the body parts, the actual Seven of Wands, the battle, Seven of Wands. Look at that scene. Our men and their men will soon be in this state. They are in it now. They're not even waiting. All this talk, the grand finale, the show of the main act. There's no main act in warfare. Each death is a travesty on either side. Then Seven of Wands. The next card we get, we drew the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands. Do you see this, everyone? Do you see this? The Ten of Wands. Bad move. Bad move. Bad. Seven of Wands, we lose. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. If we get down to putting the boots on the ground, that's being sent, an intention sent, it is going to be a horror show. It's going to be horrible. Ten of Wands. Now these were just random cards picked with the spirit in mind, asking for the quantum energy, the quantum spirit to give us some sort of inkling of what may or could or might happen. Right? I mean, we all know the future is not set in stone. Given these glimpses. We're given these experiences so we give more thought to our actions, more thought. Thank you very much for the love. Thank you very much for the likes. And this is something that is very strange, right? We have a situation, the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Wands. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for our guys. It doesn't look good for their guys. It's horrible. In fact, we see shit, we see fire, and we see sacrifices. Now, if you feel that this is a good move, or if you feel this is a bad move, and we also have to be aware that censorship, they don't want us to think about what can happen if it doesn't go according to plan, if it's not in the desired results. But we as a people must be prepared, must join our energies into what we're doing in the name of people, in the name of the people. You're welcome. You're welcome to think about this. There, even my cat is thinking about it. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Feeling it. We have to explore these situations. We can't hide like ostriches, hide our heads in the sand. We can't pretend this is not going on. It doesn't involve us because one way or the other, it does involve us. It does. It does. And no, this is not a topic we're going to discuss. That shouldn't be the case. We're too old for this. Too old. We've been around for we've been around for decade after decade, a few hundred years. We've learned something, have we? We've learned something. We can't keep going back to ground zero, the birth of something like that. We must gravel with what we are doing and seek a relationship that is one of a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Again, thank you for the likes, and think about this. Ground troops, trust the plan or war porn. And we can tell from this reading that something serious is going to go down. And it's not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for us. Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands, Seven of Wands. Thank you very much. Think about it. anybody has any questions or any comments, feel free. You know, I'm here. And you know, if I could shed some sort of light energy towards your way, I'm more than happy to. We have a question here. Hello. Oh, thank you very much for donating. All right, we'll see. Yeah, I know it's a strange time for people that are seeking employment, that need to work. I mean, most people are in this country not trillionaires and billionaires like the ones who are making the laws for us, but rather proletariats, workers, the proletariat. And it's very, very hard to find companies that are viable with all the fees, regulations, and the atmosphere. So let's see now. You sent a whole bunch of job resumes, you say. You're looking for a job. Thank you. All right, so let's just see how the job market is right now for you. What you did this week. This is peeking out. This one here. Now let's see what else. Let's get a few cards. This here too is also selling something, saying something, selling something. It's a twist of words. Let's see now. What else? Which one of these? Let's see this one. I'll do one more random pick. I always read the back so I get a vibration. It's probably very. I mean, I've been doing tarot for a long time. So, I mean, I have my own style. And of course, it doesn't have to be tarot, anything. But sometimes tarot cards are fun, nice. Not sometimes, they are nice. All right, let me see. I see this one. Now, we've taken these 4 cards here, and let's see what we have. The first card we get is the Empress. The Empress, Major Arcana. Good position. Openings. You're seen as someone who can have the doors open for you. Perhaps. Let's see. You're seen as a highly qualified candidate, number 1. I would say the Empress is a very good sign. The next one we get is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is your willingness to take positions, to rent yourself out, to work for somebody else, to be a member of a team, to lead an executive level, to lead. You're seen as someone who can manage a team. You're not an entry level, I could see that you are someone who has a plethora. You have a stall of experiences and expenses too, I'm sure. Haven't we all? But we see this with the Knight of Cups, that you're fully able to deliver on what you say. Next card we get. We have Justice. Look at all these cards. Another Major Arcana. Ooh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, weighing. Can they have someone of your degree, your level of expertise in their situation? Can they have someone who is this competent? Can their business, their venture, do you justice? And can you reciprocate with them? This is the question, the balancing justice. So far, we have the Empress, that's the level you're coming out on as. We have the Horse, the power, the Horse, the cups. The way that you could smooth over the surfaces and get them to where they want to go. They will all drink from your cup. And then we have Justice. Will this be a place that you stay or you just leapfrog? It could be a leapfrog situation for you too. And the final one I pulled, energy. We have the Eight of Wands. Well, the Eight of Wands. Well, they can see that you have many diverse skills. Also, too, could also be that everyone knows the climate of there's lots of people looking for employment. However, just like looking and the amount of people looking for something does not mean they're all equal. They are not all equal. The equal energy, the equal output, input. So I would say that you have a very favorable outlook. I mean, it's just a decision to see just how would they handle someone of your background, of your skill set. But looks pretty good to me. I mean, but then again, there's lots of companies you can tell even by our different organizations. Some people just like a lot of yes people, yes men, yes women, yes, 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 and without the input. And so you recognize as somebody who has quite a lot of a range, talent, skills, and capabilities. And they'll just have to make sure that you won't overshadow or them, which is another ego thing that people go through. And the complementary, that's what the justice is all, how complementary you are to them. But I can say you may be a little too much for what you have already applied to, but your resume, your approach, and what you're doing is quite outstanding. So right now you're seen as a viable candidate, and they're just wondering if they would be enough for someone of your background. That's about where it stands right now. You're welcome. You're welcome, Webby. You're welcome. If anybody else has any type of question about how you're going to get through this atmosphere that's permeated right now, you can ask the question. You can do a chit chat. And I appreciate the donation and thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thank you for supporting the channel. Bye bye. And I'm here, just type away if you have a question, let me know. Bye bye.